Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to the first episode of the podcast. I'm here with Adeeb, who I play rugby with at West Scotland Rugby Club. So, podcast is called Taking the Biscuit. So let's just get right into it. So Adeeb, obviously, you've had quite an extensive weight loss journey, tracked and stuff like that. You want to tell us a wee bit about that?
Yeah, so used to be quite heavy back when I was younger, then dropped a lot of weight, came back up, and now like as I got older I just went back up weight, but starting to lose it all again, so doing alright. But because around Christmas time I was at my heaviest, and since then I've dropped quite a bit, so it's just keeping on top of that now, just trying to lose as much weight as possible.
Yeah, man, it's always difficult, isn't it? Like, just you kind of get into a cycle and stuff like that, and then people say like it's. I always find, I don't know about you, but it's kind of about maintenance.
Yeah,
it's the one thing I've found.
I try to keep it like so you're still losing weight all the time.
Yeah, just try and keep it in a balance. Like, no, it's have you got any like goals with it? Like,
I think one of my goals is probably like, so we've got a lads holiday booked next year, so. Nice. Just hoping that for that I can just be a decent weight that I'm happy with. Like, just really that's my main goal. And just probably just make myself lighter, easier for rugby, all that.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a good point. Like, as you say, I mean, you've done an amazing job, like getting into the ones.
Thank you.
Yeah, all that sort of jazz, and no, it's great, man. So you want me to tell me a bit about like what you did in terms of like, did you do meal prep? Did you have a PT?
I used to have a PT back like 2 years. Like when I was working at McDonald's, I had a PT, and at the end of it, I kind of just felt like I was wasting my money because I kind of got all I needed off him. At that, like once I was with him for like a couple months, I was like, I kind of know what I'm doing now, and but it was really good with him because then that's when I went back into rugby. Like before when I had him, and felt a difference. That's when I was with Alan Glenn still, so it was alright back then. But what I've been doing now is literally just I eat I would spend like a week eating something, and then I'd notice like, oh, I've lost weight, so I just keep eating the same stuff every week. So I've just been doing that, like eating the same stuff every week pretty much. So it's like I'll put like 2 chicken burgers in the oven, have them with a wrap, and I'll put like spinach and that in it, and I'll just eat that like every week before training and all that, before games. Okay. So it's like just kind of keeping consistent with what I eat. Yeah,
no, that's really good, man. Like, as you know, I've started doing meal prep again, and I absolutely love it. Like, just get some chicken, like 8 chicken breasts and pasta and stuff.
That's the thing. I've always thought about meal prep, but I just couldn't be bothered cooking it. Like,
nah, it's hard, man. Like, especially I guess when, you know, obviously you're a wee bit younger than me. Like, when I was your age, I was like in uni and that, and just like
eating whatever,
just fucking about. Like, I remember going down to I would go down to like the Sainsbury's below my flat, and I'd buy like 2. I mean, that would be like dinner or something. So I would buy like a I don't know, like a bacon tomato ketchup sandwich and just stick it in the George Foreman. So it's not easy, at all.
I found it kind of easier once I left uni, but it's not even like uni stopped me from eating alright. It's just I wasn't in uni for that long anyway, but like, once you've kind of got more free time, it's a bit easier to eat what I want and like when I want. Like, I can kind of make sure that I'm not going out of my like whatever I'm eating. Yeah.
So in terms of like eating healthier, things like that, do you think? So obviously I miss pre-season, and a lot of people I have on the blog play rugby, and would you say like nutritionally wise? Would you say that's kind of really helped you?
I think once I started like eating better, because what I've been eating week in week out is like I've tried to make it healthier than like what I would eat usually. Yeah. And it's like throughout pre-season I was noticing I was just getting fitter and like stronger, and like it was just everything was getting easier, I think. So it was just kind of, it's like it was helping me, and it would drive me more, I think, just to keep eating like that, because I was like, oh, it's doing something, like I might as well keep going.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think as well there's like this ideology now, like in terms of like you look at the likes of, I don't know, Xander Fagerson, for example, and like rugby players now, and they're a lot more like agile, and they just kind of like, they're not as bulky and
Aye,
big anymore.
Like
It's
Skelly, like Skelly.
yeah,
out west,
Skelly's a good example as
Yeah.
well. Like, he's a bit of a smaller guy,
Mhm.
but he's obviously bulked up.
Yeah, he's doing good for himself.
No, definitely, man. So tell me a bit about, obviously, you've played a few games for the ones.
Yeah.
Now. You must be buzzing with that. Like,
Yeah. It's a very. I'm very happy to have been in the ones and hoping I can like further on into the season. But it's a big difference from twos. What I noticed was much faster game. Like everything moves so much quicker, and the boys up at ones are huge, like massive guys.
Yeah.
But that's like that comes with that. That kind of makes sense. Like boys in our team, like Scott and that, they're like 6'4", 6'5", like huge, 120 kilo.
don't give
like,
him that much praise.
Nah, I ain't like boys like that, but
No,
like, you just
see.
see them and you're like, you can tell that he's a monster. Like I don't know, it's like that's what I get it as well. Like the mental block of just tackling them, because like in my head I used to be kind of bad. I used to be like really bad at tackling, and I think once I started going up to ones, I was like, if I don't tackle him, like I'll just get dropped the next week, so I might as well hit him. So it's just kind of giving me that boost to make myself better. But it's been a big change, I think, in training as well. I used to come into training and not really care, but starting to care a bit more. But don't know, could change down the line.
Yeah, I think it's difficult, like, but really well done to you. Because, like,
Thank you.
I remember, like, last season as well, like, Adeeb said to me, what was it, like, you just kept saying, like, you know you can be a ones player, you know you can do this, and you progressed, and we would consistently, like, play twos games together, and then, like, you'd always want that ones jersey. And, you know, I heard, like, how you worked your arse off in pre-season, so honestly, hands.
Yeah, pre-season was difficult. A lot of running. That first session was horrible. I remember we done, I think, a broken bronco, and I didn't even. Oh, I could not stand it at all. It was a broken bronco, and then I think we went into Malcolm's later in the session because we were doing like 2 10 minutes in pre-season, and it was horrible, so bad. But it's worked off. It's paid off all that, so doing good now.
So it's like, compared to the start of pre-season to the end of pre-season, was there a massive difference?
I feel a massive difference because I think coming to the end of last season, I'd play like 20 minutes in a game and I'd be like, fuck this, like, I don't want to play anymore. Like this
That's
is so
how
bad.
I feel now.
Yeah. And it just started like as soon as I went into pre-season and like coming up to that first pre-season game in Oban, like the thing, even though I got injured, just coming up to that, I felt like confident to go into the game. I was like, you know what, I feel fitter, but still need to obviously work on it. But like, and then coming to the end of this season, like I was able to play full 80 for the twos against that Canadian team, even though they weren't the quickest, they were just big boys, but still a hard game. And,
especially when that guy in the sperm.
Oh yeah, but Adam Young done him. Same with Brody. Brody's a monster. I love Brody. But games like that, man, they are fun games to play. But I don't think they. I don't know. It's pretty good, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's just. I think in the season, like I've noticed my fitness has gotten better. I can last longer in games. Like I'm finding it easier to play. And just play at the level I want to.
And do you think, like, in terms of your fitness and stuff like that, like, obviously, the people on the blog, you know, like, that I've followed, I have people messaging me saying, like, you know, you helped me to do a half marathon, for example. Daniel Wilson, you know him?
Yeah.
He messaged me and he was like, you were the first one that did it. So what would you say to, like, boys like that if they're trying to lose weight, you know, like, Nathan Goodies, things like, you know, I know he's been doing PT for ages.
I think finding what fits you is the best, because with me, when I had my PT, I was like losing weight, but near the end of it, I just started to kind of hate it because it was just kind of too much. I think he was like constantly on it, like even though you're meant to be like when you're losing weight, but like now that I'm doing it just myself, like just eating eating normally, but it's good, like food that I'm eating, and I'm training twice a week, playing on the weekends. Like I think it's just the weight loss became easier because it's more of like a natural thing for me now. I'm just kind of used to it, and as well because I've kept that like kind of, I don't know, like built like rota type of thing. Like I just kind of, it's easier for me to just do it because I know it's like in my head now.
Yeah, so, that sort of mentality of
like, if you keep doing it, it will just come second nature. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think personally I've found with like, especially like, one thing I'll say is like with work, I've found that I missed the whole pre-season. I came back, there was all these new younger boys who were good players and who wanted that jersey, and you're just like, shit. Like it kind of, I think it took a wee bit on my mental health, because I was like, you know, we used to start every week for the twos, or start most weeks for the twos, and then just kind of, it was difficult to get back into it. But how do you, are you working now? Are you,
yeah, I've been working in Tesco since before
that's
summer.
at Tesco, yeah.
So.
And how do you find, the one thing I found when I was your age was, I always remember, I worked in the co-op in Milton Campsie, and I was 18, and I was in the shape of my life. I was like, 94 kilos or something like that. I was looking good, feeling good. And then I always remember, I worked bakery shifts. See, every morning, like, just seeing all those pastries.
I've avoided that with Tesco, because I'm pretty much in the alcohol section like every shift I've done. Like, I've never moved from the alcohol bit. Either that or juice if I'm lucky. But from that, it's like, I'm not even that big of a drinker anymore as well, so I don't really care about it. But it's just easier to avoid stuff like that. And all I have on my breaks, like a meal deal, like a decent meal deal, and just that's like that meal like for the full shift, and it's just done. Keeps me in check as well with the weight, because it's like meal deal, the one I get is like, in total I think like 600 calories, something like that, so it's not even like that much, and it's like a decent filling meal. So yeah, that's kind of helped me when I'm working as well, because I'm working 3 days a week, and it's like those days a week I just eat that instead.
Yeah, you need that kind of mentality, and like I feel it's kind of I feel when I was your age and I was working, I found out the hard way.
Yeah.
That like eating a loaf of bread.
Oh yeah,
and, like,
it's
soup
a lot,
after your shift, like it adds up and adds up. But yeah, man. Cool. So should we get on to? Should we talk a wee bit about mental health and things?
Yeah.
You're comfortable talking about that?
I think when I was at my heaviest, my mental health was probably at the worst. Just in general, playing rugby as well. Like, I remember it was like a house game, and also that Lenzie game at the start of the year. Like the Lenzie game, when I came off in 5 minutes because my back, because I was too heavy like at that point, so it just kind of my back, there's so much pressure on it, and I was like, in my head I was like, I need to start losing weight. Like I can't play like this. Like I want to play rugby, but I can't when I'm literally going off in 5 minutes. Like, and it's not enjoyable. So I think then it was kind of like I started to kind of hate rugby because I couldn't do it anymore as well. But now that I'm losing the weight, I'm like falling more in love with rugby, and it's just getting easier, and I think I'm just enjoying it more now. Yeah. But still a long way to go.
Would you say, like in terms of your career in rugby, would you say that you want to? Would you stay front row, or would you? Think
I think a dream of mine was always to play 10. No, I'm joking. A dream of mine is to play.
I mean, it's possible.
It is possible with my right-handed pass, but I think
I've seen your side step.
Wait, if I hit a goose, it's over. But I think realistically, my dream was to play 8. But you need to be like Pete Rhodes for that. You need to be like a proper monster to play 8.
Yeah, like Stefan.
Playing 8. You need to be like an actual like. You also need to be fitter and all that, and like I need to drop tons of weight if I wanted to play 8. Like realistically, if I wanted to play like a decent 8, I'd need to be like 100 kilo, like good muscle, and like have a lot of fitness and be good with my hands. But far away from that, so
yeah. Like I feel like with rugby and stuff like that, in terms of my mental health, I've found like, I'll tell you a story. So my dad's pal, he was 16. And I always remember it because my dad never wanted me to play rugby. Yeah. And that was because his friend's work friend's son got paralysed from the neck down in a scrum at 16.
Oh, okay.
And I always, not every, like now when I go into a scrum and stuff, I'm fine with that. But see, like, for example, when we played Stirling County. Yeah. And just the amount of pressure going through you. And I know that was even at the start when we, like, I think it was me and Skelly that started. Yeah,
no, it was you and Benj.
Me and Benj, yeah. And Benj came off after, what, 10 minutes.
10 minutes, his back was gone.
And my neck went after like 25 or something, not even that. And just like the amount of pressure that goes through you. So like, I feel like to play the position we play, you have to have that like a bit of a stronger mentality. Because especially like, I mean, you look at like what Petrus Duplessis when he was at the club, he did great things for the boys, like mental health wise as well. Like obviously his son got bullied and stuff, so unfortunately they left, but like for the boys, like mental health and stuff like that, like see, just making sure that boys' necks were protected and like strengthening their necks and stuff was great. I've gone on a bit of a tangent.
I remember seeing that on Instagram. Because I think that was like a year before I joined, but it was, I seen on the highlights, it's like something like that saying like thank you for the session, and it's like the people like his boys like Donnie and that working on their necks. So it's like But I think we should start doing stuff like that, but it's more like in the gym before sessions, like how Hamish and that, they'll do like a session before we train. I think as a team we should start doing that. It helps us all in our positions. Do
you think like when you were heavier and stuff like that, did you ever feel like in terms of your mental health and stuff, like I don't feel good with myself, like especially going into a scrum or things like that? Did you ever feel like, because I feel like for us like flexibility is such a massive like issue, like being able to get underneath your man, did you ever feel like that was an issue?
I think then it wasn't an issue because I was just so much heavier than like most other players, and like most props at that I think we played last year were actual pretty like lightweight, agile props. So it was like, for me it was more just holding my shape and just even like fitness. I think like just fitness wise I was like, I can't play like however long I need to play, like it's just going to be a pain in the arse pretty much. So it's just, I think we're just getting over that. And it was just me going like, I really need to lose weight if I want to keep playing. So it's stuff like that.
So do you think like, so like in terms of, let's say like mental health wise, how do you think being in the ones and losing all this weight, how do you think it's benefited you?
I think it's given me more confidence. So like when I was like 134, I was like, oh maybe like I'm not the best player in a while, like, I'm pretty shit. And then I think as I started losing the weight and I started like having wee like sniffs of ones and like wee hints at me, I think it was like starting to boost me, and I was just trying harder and harder. Like even like Jack knows it, like see, I don't know what week it was, but I wasn't selected. I think I was in this like for the squad selection on the Tuesday, I was in at prop on the bench, and I think on the Tuesday I just went for it. Like I just started training as hard as I could, and I think I got the call up onto the bench that weekend, which was like I'm thinking it was from that, because I just went like, I seen that I wasn't getting selected probably, so I was like, you might as well try now and just get it. So stuff like that, like just kind of knowing that I can get there, I just try harder.
Do you find like, one thing I found for my mental health was I've not done it in ages. It's really bad. I've not done it in ages, but I've been trying to get back into the gym. And me and my girlfriend right now have had this issue with commitment and wanting to do it and kind of motivating ourselves to go. So like, do you find like, well, I take it you're obviously lifting quite heavy and kind of getting better?
Realistically with that, but I've not been to the gym like throughout this full start of like pre-season and the season. Like for me it's been more like just naturally doing the stuff that rugby takes, like just like the lineouts and all that, and like lifting has just kind of helped me get stronger, because like the likes of like with the first team as well, I'm like lifting like Scott Cochran and that, like heavier boys, so I'm having to get stronger and like it makes me stronger off of that, and it's like stuff like that. But like with the gym stuff, like my little brother, he's been going to the gym like the last year, and with him it's like fully disciplined. So he used to weigh I think like 110, and he's like 89 now. He's like lost so much weight, he's feeling so much better, and I think he always tells me, he's like, it's literally just discipline, because I go like, where you going? He's like, gym, and I'm like, he's like, I hate it but I'm going. It's like, he's like, he knows that like he has to do it if he wants to get where he wants, so it's good for him. stuff like that. But you need to be just disciplined.
Yeah.
Like, I always see stuff where it's like motivation means nothing. It's just like motivation will last for however so long. You just need to, in your head, be like, I need to do this. Same like the fitness, like the likes of like Lewis Howick. See when you see him in fitness, the guy looks like he's just going like, right, we're doing this, like, and I'm gonna go 100%.
Yeah.
And you always see him, he's like a robot, and it's just stuff like that, man. You just see him, and you're like, right, I want to be like that. So stuff like a lot of people like are in like, you want to be like them. Not Lewis Howick, but don't want to get him too confident.
You don't want to take his fullback jersey, no.
I probably could, but
so like, obviously, personally,
mm-hmm.
like when my mum had breast cancer and stuff, I found that I ran the marathon and stuff, and that
mm-hmm.
that really helped me. Do you think is there any kind of goals in terms of, I know you said about your holiday,
mm-hmm.
but is there any other, like, I don't know, like doing, like obviously I spoke about Danny, like
mm-hmm.
Daniel doing a half, and he smashed it and did a great job.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd want to do? Like, is there any, because I find that setting myself goals kind of puts that pressure on me.
Yeah.
Like me and my friend Amy have said, like, well, that was until I gave her a chest infection this week and she's raging at me. But yeah, she said to me, like, she wants to do all these things and she's training to be a stunt woman and things like that. Do you think goal setting's like the kind of best way to go about it?
I don't know, because with me it wasn't really like, I think a goal actually, yeah, a goal of mine was like to start pre-season was like, let me get myself into this first team. So I think it is like you just set a goal and you're like, right, let's actually try here, because like I want to get first team at that point. And like obviously like one of my next goals as well was to like try solidify myself in the first team, like become like a player week in, week out. But that's gonna take a lot of hard work and stuff. But stuff like that, I think goals are a good thing for losing weight, and they also like stuff like Danny with the half marathon and all that, or like I can't remember, was it a 10k he done?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Like, stuff like that, like I totally see like how that would help so much. Like, and fair play to Danny, because I could never do that.
You could, man.
Not run a 10k.
Genuinely. See, like, do you know the one thing that helped me out the most when I was doing weight loss was weight loss is a cycle, but I mean, like, when I was doing training and stuff, I did the couch to 5k.
Yeah.
And it was the
best. Is that?
It's an NHS app.
Okay.
So for people out there, I'd recommend it as well, because it's just like, you start so small. Like I started running about my garden.
Yeah.
And just went from there to running around the fucking block. And, like from there running up and down to the stables and stuff like that, and that was 5k. And you're like, this is mental. Like, and you know, you have like people who are like comedians and all sorts as well who talk on it. So yeah, definitely if you want to get into like building your stamina up and things like that, I'd recommend something like that. So your main goal is to solidify yourself. Yeah,
as a once player.
Yeah. No, I think it's very doable. Like, obviously hard work, determination.
It'll take a couple of years, I think, but should get there one day.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Right, so I'll ask you about that's our script. Yeah, so let's talk about, like, so for people your age, like, it's difficult. I feel it's difficult. When I was your age, you know, I always wanted to be an actor, and that was my big thing. Not many actors are rugby players. So it's kind of tenfold. What's your like ambitions? Like what's your goal?
So originally I went into uni for mechanical engineering, and then when I was in there, I was like, yeah, I don't think this is for me. So I ended up dropping out. But now I'm just in Tesco trying to figure it out. But I think I just want to go into like some type of engineering and just be like hands on rather than like sitting behind a desk doing it. I think that's just a bit of a pain. Like, And also, I can't see myself in the future just sitting like behind a computer just doing stuff. I'd rather be like hands-on, like apprenticeship almost, like just going in an apprenticeship soon and just building up from there, just seeing what happens.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. I feel like playing rugby and stuff like that. It is kind of like, it is a creative sport. So we all want to do kind of creative jobs or do things that, I know boys that are in like accounts, law, things like that, these are all jobs that help people, I guess, like, for example, taking care of people's money, taking care of a lawsuit for someone, making sure someone's okay. So you're thinking like engineering wise? So you're going to go back to uni, or do you think?
I think I'll end up going back to uni. I think it'll just be an apprenticeship and then just see where I go from there, really. So
it's like a college sort of apprenticeship?
Yeah, something like that. Just see what happens.
Yeah. back to partying.
No, cause I got into uni. When I was in uni, I was not enjoying it. So I think I want to go back.
Did you play? What uni did you go to?
Strathclyde. I was only there for like 2 months, and then I was like, I'm dropping out pretty much. But if I was to stay there, I'd like to play for the rugby team, but don't know how well I'd do there.
I think it would be like if you did go back to uni. My uni rugby days were some of the best of my life.
Yeah.
I absolutely fucking loved it. Like, felt like I felt like a bit of a I don't want to say it, but a bit of an American like frat boy at times, because like, they had like a house and stuff like that 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 most of the seniors lived in, and things like that, and it was like you felt good about yourself because you felt like you're playing rugby for your uni, you're also enjoying a drink with your pals, things like that. It just, to me, some of the best years of my life. So if you ever do go back, I'd recommend uni rugby. Like, you look at like, what's it, Cammy Finlayson and stuff like that.
Cowan as well, he's playing for the first team for Strathclyde, and like Godber's trying to get into it as well. Tell me he was shooting with the freshers, but probably they're not the best. But you never know. Maybe he'll go further in. Yeah.
But I feel that's like, again, we've gone back to rugby, but obviously we're rugby players. The thing I found like with uni and stuff was, and like I nearly got kicked out of uni because I loved the rugby side of it so much, and was so like, I always remember there was it was like a Christmas dinner that we did, and all the freshers were dressed up in like these tight Primark dresses. Like, I was like you were meant to dress up as an elf, but it was pretty mental. I always remember I had a senior at my table, and I was like, I'm not going out, and they're like, yeah, you fucking, there's no choice in this matter. I remember waking up and I'm like, shit, I've got an exam. And I was like, fuck. Like, I had this assignment that I was camera operating on, and screwed up a bit. So don't do that. But if you do ever go back to uni, I'd highly recommend
uni rugby.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. Cool. So let's get on to, obviously, I wanted to have like a unique question that I ask everyone at the end of the episode. So we're coming to the end of the episode. I know it's been a long haul. That way, like, when I first started this, I didn't think I was actually gonna. I was looking at it, was like 6 minutes, and I was like, how the fuck says 6 minutes? In your life, has there been like a moment, like a memory that kind of is unique to you?
That's a difficult question. Probably just like, I'm not even sure. Like the last holiday that I had there, going to Napa with some of the guys from rugby. I think just memories from that, like in general, with just everyone, were like pretty unique. I think the memory which is most mental to me, like most funny to me from that time, was when Adam Young, like we played numbers. Like we would play that for like prees, and
Okay. Yeah.
him and Ross Darrick would always kind of get into it, and they'd be like force each other to drink like proper like heavy drinks pretty much, and Adam kind of got a bit too fucked, and then he ended up like just started going mental pretty much, and it was so funny, like us trying to put him to bed and all that. But that's a unique memory to me, like just trying to stick Adam Young in bed, like just such a weird experience. And he's just sitting like, he's sitting with his boot as well still then. So he's like, you're trying to like watch his boot and he's like swinging about. Oh, that was a brilliant time. And even with like nights out with, like, I went on a birthday night out with Brody, and like all his pals and that, like me, Jack and Marcus and Skelly and Adam and that went on it, and just there, like stuff like that, like meeting people from rugby, I think it's just gotten better. Like the people at West are brilliant, I think so.
Yeah, no, they're all great lads. That's what I found. Like, you know, and like when I was your age and stuff, I never had a lad's holiday or anything like that, so I've never experienced it. But it's nice to see that you boys are all like hanging out and like doing these things, because they're good things to do, and it's like, obviously I remember like maybe a sadder moment of that holiday was when you were like, you know, you'd lost all this weight. Oh,
when I was in the shit outfit, and that was a funny moment. That was not a sad moment.
Right, okay, fine.
I wasn't sad during that. I was just, at first I was raging at Jack, I remember, and I was so mad at him, and I hated him at that point. But that's like, obviously you're gonna hate it. Like the guys made me wearing a crop top and a biking shorts outside. So, but after a while it just got funny. Like, and the likes of like Hinks, he woke up the next day with like a bruise on his arse because that many people slapped his arse on the night. And like memories, another memory from Napa as well was like a haunted house on the strip. So you went in and they took your phones off you, and you'd go in, and I went in with
take your phone off you.
Yeah, Hinks, Skelly, me, and a girl that Hinks and that knew called Nadine, and we went in and it was just, it was so funny. I like, it's pitch black, you can't see anything. You're meant to like look up at the roof for red lights and you follow them. And there's like a guy like following you the full time, like touching you in the back, but you can't see him obviously. And they're like, and then the last room, I punched Skelly or something. I can't remember what happened, but like I ran into someone, and then that Najeen girl as well, like ran into a wall, and like I think she broke her nose or something, or chipped her nose. And because like the last room, you're like you go in it, and then they shut the door behind you, and it's like there's a guy in the middle for like a solid 30 seconds just with a chainsaw, so you can't leave. And then they open the door after he's like done doing his thing, but it's obviously not a real chainsaw. And they but it's like you're like we thought you could leave it, we thought you could leave, so we're like trying to walk to the corners and that, like find the door, but you couldn't. Oh, what a memory, man!
Jeez, man.
As well, even like Brody, like the nights out, like we were doing yoga toy and all that, like just like a thing he was making us do, like stuff like that. Brilliant memories out of West.
Nah, man. Yeah, that's good, man. It's good, like you know, you've made friends and stuff, and have all these memories and things like that. You were actually, I was like last night you were telling me, like family wise, you had family.
Yeah. A guy that my mum and dad know from Iran, he's came over for uni.
That's
and
cool,
he
man.
was just here yesterday, and he's just stayed the night with us and just going bowling later with him as well. So
amazing, man.
Yeah,
that'll be good fun. Well, yeah, man. 34 minutes.
Yeah, not bad.
We should do it, man. Yeah, so we'll wrap it up here. Thank you for cheers for joining me, man. Really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for tuning in, guys. And yeah, done a run today or been to the gym. Well done to you. And hope you enjoyed the first podcast. Cheers, guys.
See you later.